More than 100 years
Researchers
ago,
have been
development
discussing the challenges faced by African communities and governments as they use a globalized capitalist finance system for development.
L'Afrique a un potentiel énorme en termes d'épargne. Les capitaux
Africa
qui
has a huge
sortent de
potential
l'Afrique
in terms of
dépassent les capitaux que
savings.
l'Afrique reçoit.
The money which leaves the
Ce qu'il
continent
faut, c'est
far exceeds the amount
développer
received.
davantage ces capitaux
These
domestiques,
resources should be
rendre
further
ce système
developed
financier
within an
efficace
efficient
pour que
financial
l'argent
system
des
so that
Africains
African
finance
money
la
finances its
transformation.
transformation
Juste
on
un
the
exemple.
continent.
On a 400 milliards de dollars dans les fonds de pension.
Development economists reflected on the patterns and diversity of monetary dependency and sovereignty throughout the continent and how monetary dependency interacts with other forms of dependency such as trade and debt.
Avec plus de souveraineté
With more
monétaire,
monetary sovereignty, we have more economic sovereignty, and vice versa. This will help to create jobs for the majority, develop capacity, and stabilize more economies, unlike what we see. This is a historic conference.
Et donc c'est une conférence historique.
Experts also shed light on the weakness in the industrialization process in Africa. The main constraint, they noted, is the focus on low value added assembly line production as opposed to high value added content of exports.
So every time we try to accelerate exports, to accelerate the process of industrialization, you end up importing more technology, more raw materials, and more intermediate goods and more components, which happen to be high value-added content. And then you use cheap labor and deregulated labor markets, deregulated environmental rules, and so on, and subsidies from the government in order to export low value-added assembly line manufacturing products.
The international conference was an opportunity to discuss the challenges facing African communities and governments and the institutional constraints imposed by both the European Union and other international financial institutions, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Experts assert that alternative forms of organizing financial and monetary systems can enable the transformation and development of Africa. They view monetary sovereignty as a pillar in the quest for economic and political independence. Adnen Chaouachi, CGTN, Tunis.